Hey guys, welcome back to the Mets franchise. Sorry it took so long to get this video out, but I hope you enjoy this one. World Series rematch. First, the Los Angeles Angels. As you see, we beat Arizona in 6. They beat Baltimore in 6. It's not common. You can go to back-to-back World Series. It's very not common. You'll see the same teams in it in back-to-back years. So this is pretty exciting. We're going to take a look at the Angels roster. The only person, well, they added someone pretty good. They still got Reed Detmers. They added Evan Phillips in the offseason, if you guys remember that. So that was a big signing for them. They lost Patrick Sandoval, I know that. A couple pitchers look different. You see they still got Zach Neto, Oscar Colas, Gavin Lux, Hunter Harvey, Amankata, Eric Lauer. They have Drew Rasmussen. I don't think they had him last year. And the starting pitcher, Nick Frasso, who you'll see this series, I don't think they had him either. Anyway, we're going to get into the World Series in a second, and we'll be back for the gameplay. So here we go. World Series rematch starting now. All right, here we go. Angels have home field advantage this year. Last year it was us who had the home field when we swept the Angels. And not only did we sweep them, we swept the floor with them convincingly. We pretty much blew them out every game. Off the top of my head, I should have looked this up before I did the video. I don't think Edwin Diaz even needed to make a save. That's how not close the games were, but I could be wrong about that. There might have been one game. Anyway, Reed Detmers going first. Angels got their best pitcher going in game 1, which I wish we could say. Anyway, two out, nobody on in the first. It's Kyle Tucker. He rips one towards the gap. Going back is Collis and Trout. They look up and it's gone. And right away, Kyle Tucker gets the Mets on the board with a solo home run in the first inning. And it's 1-0 Mets. And it's flashbacks for the Angel fans as the Mets jump on an early lead, and they're hoping they don't see a repeat of what happened last year where we just crushed their pitching staff. We're off to a good start so far, but only 1-0 in the first. Logan Gilbert would have to go game 1 for us. Pitching was pretty tired. Logan Gilbert is next in line. We got Gilbert and Senga going in Los Angeles, so not our two best pitchers, but if we can come away up 2-0, we'll have Burns and Urias for 3 and 4. So we'll see. In the second, back-to-back 2-out walks from Reed Detmers. That's never good. We're trying to make him pay. It's Francisco Alvarez in the 9th spot because the lefty's pitching, and he's going to strike out swinging on the nice sweeping curveball right there. Bottom half of the second, 2 out, nobody on for Yoan Moncada. 2-2 count is lined into right field. Kyle Tucker looks up, and this one just gets out of here. The short wall in right field was just short enough, exactly 350 down the right field line as it just sneaks out of here, and the Angels are on the board. It is tied at 1. Still in the third, 2 out, Gavin Lux, he finds the gap, and this one is gone. A home run. The Angels take a 2-1 lead. So a homer for Yoan Moncada in the second, and a homer for Gavin Lux in the third. And the Angels, just like that, the Angels have the lead. 2-1 off of 2 solo shots there. Still in the third, Oscar Colas is the next batter. 3-2 count on him, and he walks. Fastball just missed outside corner. So we got a runner on first from Mike Trout. He did nothing in last year's World Series, but he is going to try to make up for that in this World Series, and it's off to a good start so far. A line drive home run into the bullpen, 2-run shot, and it's 4-1 Angels, and it's a 3-run inning. All with 2 outs here. Home run, walk, home run, and we've seen enough of Logan Gilbert. He has not had a good postseason, and this is game 1. We had a short leash on him. Seen enough. Aaron Savale would come in and finish the third. In the fourth, Pete Alonso beats the shift down the right field line. It's going to be a leadoff double, so we'll try to cut this lead down to only 2 as Pete Alonso's on second with nobody out. Next up, Luis Robert, 2-2 count on him. He's going to ground to third. That's not going to get the runner over, so Pete Alonso will have to stay at second. Lindor's up next. He's also not going to get the runner. He chops one to short. Pete Alonso's going to have to stay at second again. So we got a runner on second, 2 out. Can Teoscar come through with a big hit? And he lines one into right field, but Colas is right there to put it away so we don't capitalize on that leadoff double in the fourth. In the fifth, Savali was still on the mound. He strikes out Gavin Lux there. He's going to get out of this fifth inning. So he would come in. He came in, in the third? So he pitched 2 1/3 innings of shutout ball. He just got us to the bullpen, which is what we needed. Couldn't trust Logan Gilbert to keep them at 4. So we went to Savali, and he did his job. So end of the fifth, 4-1, Los Angeles. We're going into the seventh. Leading off is Luis Robert, and he's going to find the gap in the right center field. This is going to one hop off the wall. It's going to be another leadoff double for us. Let's see if we can actually score the runner this time. As Robert with the clutch leadoff double in the seventh. We got to score and score fast. We're down 3 in the seventh. It's Francisco Lindor next up. He rips one up the middle for a base hit. Rounding third is scoring is Luis Robert, and it's 4-2. We got the tying run at the plate now in the seventh inning. Much more manageable deficit. Teoscar Hernandez, he strikes out swinging though on a slider. 1 away. Next guy would get out as well. Francisco Alvarez, last hope. They went to a lefty, and Caleb Ferguson strikes him out as top half of the seventh inning over. Still 4-2. Bottom half of the seventh, it's Stephen O'Kurt get a double play to get out of it. So we go to the eighth. 2 out in the eighth, tying run up for Pete Alonso. That's a base hit up the middle. We got first and second, tying run on first. Go ahead run at the plate. We have home run hitters 1 through 9 in this lineup. Can Luis Robert come through? It's gonna be a wild pitch. Runners are gonna move over. It's a 3-2 count with second and third, 2 out, tying run at second. Base hit ties this game. Luis Robert, can he come through? The 3-2, he strikes out swinging. That was a nasty splitter, bottom of the zone. Hunter Harvey's hyped as he should be. We're going to the ninth inning. New Angels closer this year. Evan Phillips has been fantastic. 5 for 5 in the postseason. Hasn't allowed an earned run. Just like our closer, Edwin Diaz. So good closer matchup in this World Series. And look at that backdoor slider. Beautiful. That was the dot. 1 away in the ninth. Next up, Teoscar. 3-2 count on him. He's going to slowly chop one in front of the plate. Logan O'Hoppe makes the play. Throws to first in time. Nice play by Logan O'Hoppe. And 2 away. We're down to our last out. It's Brett Beatty, and he is going to pop up to first. And that is Chris Villanueva. I think he's new from last year. I don't remember him. Maybe he was in the minors or something, but he catches that one. Angels take game 1, and just like that, they've already won more games than they won in last year's World Series as they take a 1-0 series lead in the World Series rematch. So Angels looking like they're going to be much tougher this time around as we're going to game number 2. Drew Rasmussen on the mound. We did not first him in the World Series last year. Pretty sure he wasn't on the team at all. Actually, he's not having a great postseason for as good of a pitcher as he is, which is surprising. Anyway, Ramon Urias leading off this game. That's a walk way outside. We got a leadoff guy on, Brandon Nimmo. See if playoff Nimmo can come through. He's going to hit one deep in the left field. Going back to the left fielder. He's still going back. He leaps, and it's gone. It's just out of here. That ball kept carrying. Opposite field, 2-run home run from Brandon Nimmo. And in back-to-back games, we get a first inning home run. This time it's a 2-run shot, and it's 2-0 Mets in the first. So let's see how Senga can do with a 2-run lead, as this would be big to take at least one game here in Los Angeles before going back home. Senga hasn't had the greatest postseason either. Really, none of our pitchers have besides Julio Urias. But so far through 2, Senga is dealing still 2-0 at the end of the second as he gets Joe Moncada there. In the third, it's Nelson Rada, the ninth batter. He's going to fly into center. Luis Robert will make the play. So far, so good. 3 perfect innings from Senga as 9 guys have reached the plate. All 9 have been retired. In the fourth, 2 out for Luis Robert. Luis Robert's going to rip one up the middle for a base hit. So we finally get another base runner on in this one, waiting all the way to the 4th inning. Next up, Francisco Alvarez, 1-1 count. He is going to hit one deep in the left center field, going back to the left fielder. Trout's on the run. He dives. He can't make the play, but it bounces over the wall. And what a break the Angels got, because that obviously would have scored Luis Robert with ease. And next up is Teoscar, and he gets frozen on that slider. I don't know why I thought that was going to drop more than it did, but frozen on the slider, still 2-0. Bottom half of the fourth, leading off is Gavin Lux, and Gavin Lux with an absolute moonshot out there in the right field. 2 games in a row for Gavin Lux to start the World Series. He's homered in both of them. And another solo shot as it is 2-1 now. New York lead only at 1. We go to the top of the 5th. It's Pete Alonso up with a runner on first. He's going to rip another base hit into center field. First to third goes Kyle Tucker, and we're in business in the fifth. However, there is 2 outs, so we do need a clutch hit from Francisco Lindor. Can he come through? 1-2 count, and Robbie Ray gets him to pop up to short. Gavin Lux will put this one away, and we're going at the end of 4.5. Still 2-1. Bottom half of the fifth. Senga trying to get out of this fifth inning. It's Zach Neto. Grounds to third. 5, 4, 3. Double play. Senga so far pitching good. 5 innings, only 1 earned. Can he finish the 6? He's only had 86 pitches. Gavin Lux already hit him deep once, and he's going to find the hole just under the glove of Lindor. I thought maybe he could have had that one, Lindor, with his good defense, but nope, base hit. And that was it. We decided to take Senga out because third time through the order. And let's see if that's going to pay off. He didn't pitch bad at all, but we got all we could from him pitching into the 6th. I'm not going to complain. Soto tries to get Oscar Colas, and that doesn't work. He came in to get the lefty out, cannot get the lefty out, all the way down the left field line. Runners going first to home. The relay throw is not in time, and the Angels have tied the game. Gavin Lux speed kills. Next up is Mike Trout, and oh boy, Mike Trout is on a revenge mission to redeem himself from last year's World Series where he did absolutely nothing. I'm pretty sure he didn't get a hit all World Series. I know we strike him out a ton of times, but so far in this World Series, he is killing us. Home run in Game 1 and a home run in Game 2 for the Angels to take the lead. A big 2-run shot. Gregory Soto comes in and gets a lefty out. Can't do it. You know, it's a 3-batter minimum in this one, so he had to verse Trout, and it's not looking good. 4-2 Angels, bottom of the 7th, and they have their leadoff guy on. But we get the next 2 out. Jordan Romano would. And then Nelson Rada finds the gap in the left center field. Yo Moncada's rounding second. He's rounding third. He's trying to score all the way from first. And he's going to score easily as Nelson Rada found the gap. 5-2 Angels in this one. Gavin Lux was next up trying to add to this deficit. And he's going to fly out to center. Luis Roberts going to track that one down. So we're down 3 going into the 8th inning. 2 outs in the 8th. We had a guy on for Luis Robert. He chops one to first. That's a base hit. Runner was on the go because of the 3-2 count, but Lindor almost gets thrown out with a throw behind him. Francisco Alvarez is the tying man at the plate, but he is just going to chop this one to the pitcher. It's Hunter Harvey again. He's pitching good in this series so far, and that would be it. Bottom of the 8th. Angels looking for some insurance. It's Chris Villanueva deep to left field, and no doubt about this one. In the Mets bullpen, it's 6-2 Angels, and they are running away with this one. They get their insurance run they wanted. 4-run lead headed into the 9th for Los Angeles, and we could not muster anything in the 9th. 2 out, nobody on for Nimmo, and this is Andrew Wentz closing out the door as Nimmo flies out to left, and the Angels have taken a 2-0 series lead. So, you know, winning that first one, kind of joked about how they won more than they won all of last year's World Series, but now all of a sudden they're up 2-0. This is getting a little scary here, so we got to come back at home. Hopefully we can win all 3, but we need to at least win this one 100%. The next 2 really are kind of must win. We can't go down 3-0. The series is over, and well, if we go down 3-1, it's not looking good either. So we need Corbin Burnes to step up, pitch a good game. He hasn't had the normal great postseason he usually has either. And we're going up against Eric Lauer, who we crushed last time around, but this year the Angels team is a little bit different, and our offense hasn't really got going yet in this World Series, so we'll see. In the bottom half of the second, Francisco Lindor jump throw from the outfield. Beautiful play, rare defensive highlight in this series. Doesn't happen often. The bottom of the third, it's Brandon Nimmo. He beats the shifted infield for a base hit. It's a 2-out base hit for Brandon Nimmo. That's going to bring up Kyle Tucker. See what he can do with the 2-1 count against the lefty. He hits lefties pretty well. He's going to hit one deep in the left field. Going back to the left fielder. He's at the track. It plays it off the wall. Nimmo's trying to score from first. The relay throw is not going to be in time. And yet again, we have taken the lead first as we take a 1-0 lead in the third. Pete Alonso gets hit by a pitch. That slider got away from Eric Lauer, and obviously not on purpose. Next up, Luis Robert, and he is going to hit one deep into right center field. Trout's going back. He's still back. He's at the wall, but he makes the play right in front of the wall. Nice play for Mike Trout. I thought we were going to get a couple RBIs on a double or something there, but not to be. In the fourth, Corbin Burnes still cruising along. Gets a double play to get out of it. So Corbin Burnes, 4 innings for him. So far, so good. Bottom half of the fourth, it's Teoscar Hernandez. He smokes one to left field, and this one is gone. no doubt about it. Solo shot for Teoscar Hernandez. I think that's his second of the postseason. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the stats are right for most people now, even though it was kind of glitchy earlier in the postseason. But that's the second one I remember. 2-0. In the fifth, Corbin Burns lead off base hit for Yoan Moncada. Let's try not to blow a lead this game for the third time in a row. Next up, Zach Neto, 1-2 count. Only 77 pitches for Corbin Burns, but that's another base hit. So maybe we got to get the bullpen start working here as he's in trouble in the fifth, first and second. Nobody out. Logan O'Hoppe up next, 1-2 count. He's going to go down swinging, high slider. Don't think that's where Corbin Burns wanted it, but it worked out all right. Next up, Nelson Rada, 1-2 count. He's going to bloop one into shallow left. Lindor's going over. He's going to make the play on the run. Nice play. Thought that might have got down for a second, but Lindor makes the play. Scary Gavin Lux is up next, and he's going to ground one to third. Brett Beatty retires him. So 5 shutout innings so far for Corbin Burns. Bottom half of the fifth, it's Kyle Tucker, already 2 for 2 today. He just crushes the Angels' left-handed pitching, I tell you. And that's another base hit, third hit of the game. Leadoff base hit in the bottom of the fifth. Pete Alonso up next, 3-2 count. He hits one hard and through the infield for a base hit. First and second, nobody out for the Mets now in the bottom of the fifth. Can we add to this low 2-run lead? It's Luis Robert. He's going to poke one to right field. The right fielder's right there, but tagging going to third is Kyle Tucker. And we've got first and third, 1 out. We need to score now. We've had a lot of chances where we haven't come through. It's Francisco Lindor. Chops one to first. Villanueva over to short. Back to Villanueva. And it's a double play. We do not score again in a golden chance. Not good. Not good. In the sixth, Brandon Drury would ground out here to Francisco Lindor, and that would be it for Corbin Burns. 6 shutout innings. He did pitch pretty well, but in the fifth and sixth innings, he's had guys on, so we decided to go to the bullpen. It's Ron Marinaccio in the seventh, and that is Logan O'Hoppe finding the gap. All the way to the wall it goes. 2-out double for Los Angeles, and now with 2 outs in the seventh, they got a runner in scoring position and a tying run coming to the plate, so we're going to go to the bullpen. Tanner Scott, he's been good this postseason. Needed him to get this lefty out. Nelson Rada, lefty, and he is going to chop it up the middle, and that is going to be snagged by Lindor and just gets him at first. Wow, what a play from Francisco Lindor. Still 2-0. In the eighth, we still had Tanner Scott in, and it works out. He gets another lefty to ground out, this time into a double play. And that means we're headed into the ninth, and it's time to play the trumpets. Still 2-0. We've done nothing on offense besides a double from Kyle Tucker and a home run from Teoscar Hernandez. So 2-run lead in the ninth. Brandon Drury leads off. He flies to right. Kyle Tucker's right there for the out, 1 away. Next up, Yoan Moncada. 3-2 count on him. He is going to pop up behind the plate. See if Francisco Alvarez has enough room. He does. He makes the catch. And we're down. The Angels are down to their last out here in game number 3. It's Zach Neto. And he strikes out swinging on a nice slider. As this series is now 2-1 Los Angeles. We win the first one at home. Much needed as we'll go into game number 4. Game number 4, we've got Julio Urias coming to the mound. He has been brilliant this postseason. All 3 starts, he's pitched great. 3-0, 2.37 ERA. He was phenomenal in both games against Arizona, and he was great in the NLDS as well against St. Louis. Nick Frasso on the mound. That's a new pitcher we did not see. Definitely did not see him last year, so we're going to try to beat up on him before we get back to the good pitchers in the Angels rotation. Not that he's bad, but you know what I mean. Before they get back to the top, and it's bottom half of the first. Ramon Urias, leadoff base hit. A couple batters later, it's Kyle Tucker. We're looking to strike first again. That's a base hit up the middle. Almost took Nick Frasso's head along with it. So we got first and second. 1 out here in the bottom of the first for Pete Alonso. Can Pete Alonso come through? Hasn't hit a home run so far this series. Only has won the postseason, but this one is crushed to left. No doubt about it. Into the New York night, and we have struck first yet again. And it's another first inning home run this series. 3-run shot for Pete Alonso. He finally comes to life. MVP of the regular season. 50 home runs in the regular season. He hasn't done that much this postseason. No one really has, though, especially in this World Series. Our offense has yet to really get going. But we're hoping that changes right there with a 3-run shot on one big swing from Pete Alonso. Clutch World Series bomb right there as we look to tie this series up. And man, that one was absolutely demolished. 406 feet. And that one lands way back there in left. Second inning now. Leading off is Luis Roberts, still 3-0. Roberts going to take a high changeup, high and outside, takes it opposite field. Going back is Colas, looks up, and this one is gone. Off the facing of the second deck, it's Luis Robert homering, and that's the opposite field home run for him. Solo shot. It's 4-0 Mets here in the second. Finally looking like we looked like last year in the playoffs and in the World Series, as their offense is hitting home runs. Urias still dealing now in the fourth. That's already his 5th strikeout, as we just haven't shown him yet because of the offensive highlights. And then he gets Logan O'Hoppe, top of the zone. Strikeout number 6, so cruising along is Urias. Looks like we're going to show some more Urias highlights in a second, but first we're getting some offense going. It's Francisco Lindor, base hit into right field to lead off the bottom half of the 4th inning. We're not done. We're not comfortable with that 4-run lead. Brett Beatty, he bloops one in a left. That's going to dunk right in front of the left fielder for a base hit. First and second, nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. We've had this scenario before, and we haven't come through. Let's see if it changes. Already one out. Francisco Alvarez up next. He's going to hit one up the middle for a base hit. Rounding third and scoring is Francisco Alvarez. First to third goes Brett Beatty. 5-0 New York in the bottom of the 4th, and we still got first and second with one out for Teoscar. It's a 3-2 count. He's going to hit one in the right. Colas on the run. He's going to make a nice play, but tagging and scoring is Brett Beatty, and 6-0 New York. As the rest of the way here, we're going to show Urias cruising along, strikes out Moncada. This is the 5th inning, 7th K of the game here. Next up, Zach Neto. He is going to go down swinging as well. Nasty slurve from Urias, number 8 for him. In the 6th now, it's Gavin Lux. He goes down swinging. Nice change of speed right there for Urias. That's number 9. Colas up next. That's strikeout number 10. Beautiful slurve on the outside corner. So up to 10 Ks. Let's see if he can strike out the side. It's Mike Trout. 1-2 count on him. He goes down swinging. High changeup. That definitely fooled Mike Trout. Would have fooled me too. We're going to the 7th. Urias trying to get through 7 here. It's another K right there. He strikes out Yoan Moncada. And next up is Zach Neto. 2-2 count. Runner on first for 2 outs. 115th pitch of the night is in the right field. Tucker comes on. He stumbles and makes the play. 7 shutout innings from Urias. He was phenomenal. Pretty quick game number 4 here as Urias shuts the door. Through 7 innings, we scored 6 off a couple of home runs. Big home run from Pete Alonso set the tone in the first, and we win this one with ease. And this series is tied at 2. We're going to game number 5 as Logan Gilbert back on the mound for us. Disappointing game number 1. See if he can make up for that here in game number 5 as if we can take a 3-2 series lead going back to Los Angeles, we'll be feeling great. In the first, though, it's Oscar Colas. He finds he just hits one over everyone's head in right field. Kyle Tucker plays it off the wall. It's a 1-out double. Mike Trout up next. He's been a lot scarier this time around, and he's going to continue his hot hitting as that one's down the left field line. This one goes all the way to the wall. Back-to-back doubles in the first. Already 1-0 Angels. Logan Gilbert already in trouble in the first. Next up, Chris Villanueva. 1-2 count on him. He's going to hit one deep to left field. Nimmo goes back. He looks up and watches it fly out of here. Another home run for Chris Villanueva. That one's a 2-run shot, and it's 3-0 Angels in the first. I think this is the first game we didn't strike first. The Angels strike first in a big way. Angels decide not to go to Reed Detmers. Looks like they do have a 5-man rotation this postseason. It's Taylor Dollard on the mound, as he was just kind of average, so we're hoping he can pitch just average here as we're down 3 early on. In the first, it's Brandon Nimmo beats the shift, and that's going to go in the left field for a double. So we got a runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the first. We're trying to chip away early, get a run back where we can. Kyle Tucker up next. 1-2 count on him. He continues his pretty decent hitting as he finds the gap. Not tagging is Brandon Nimmo, so never mind. He doesn't continue his decent hitting. I don't know why I thought that was heading toward the gap off the bat. But anyway, Pete Alonso, can he come through? He can. It's a base hit up the middle. Nimmo scores. We get a run back in the first. It's 3-1. So Alonso hasn't had the most home runs this postseason, but he has been doing solid, getting a lot of base hits. In the bottom half of the second, 2 out, nobody on for Francisco Alvarez, having himself a good postseason, and he crushes one out there to right. And this one's no doubt about it, to right off the facing of the second deck. Francisco Alvarez pulls one back, and it's 3-2. We're only down by 1 now, just like that in the second inning. So this is anyone's ball game. Logan Gilbert Pitching into the third, it's Oscar Colas. That one's ripped. If it's fair, it's gone. It is gone off the foul pole. And the Angels score again, 4-2 now. Colas has been hitting pretty well this series. A lot of Angels guys have been hitting pretty well this series. And that one just hits the foul pole, gets out of here. Angels up by 2. Bottom half of the fourth, it's Brett Baty leading off. And Brett Baty, he's due for a home run in the postseason. Crushes one, no doubt about it, into right center field. Absolute missile from Brett Baty. And just like that, we're back within 1 yet again. So it's 4-3 in the bottom half of the fourth. We're going to the fifth. Nelson Rada at the plate. 3-2 count on him. He draws a walk. So Logan Gilbert on thin ice right now. 87 pitches in the fifth inning. Next up is Gavin Lux. He's going to chop one. This one's going to stay fair. Gilbert's going to fire to first, but not in time. It's an infield single. Swinging bunt single, and that was it for Logan Gilbert. Again, couldn't finish 5. So disappointing, Logan Gilbert. We're going to Loizaga to try to get out of this. Big strikeout on Oscar Colas right there. As we brought Loizaga in for that hard sinker, he gets a strikeout. Mike Trout's up next, 2 for 2 today, but just what the doctor ordered. 4-6-3 double play to get out of a jam. Good work from Jonathan Loizaga right there. Loizaga still on in the 6th. Runner on first, 1 out, and he walks Yoan Moncada. So that would be it for Jonathan Loizaga. We'd go back to Ron Marinaccio to try to get out of a jam. First and second, 1 out for Zach Neto. We need to hold them here down 1, and a nice big strikeout from Ron Marinaccio. Beautiful fastball in the inside corner. Logan O'Hoppe up next, and O'Hoppe's going to bloop on the right. Kyle Tucker comes in. He's right there, and Ron Marinaccio does his job out of the bullpen, so our bullpen's pitching pretty well. Bottom half of the 7th, we decided to leave Marinaccio in, and it looks like he's going to get out of this inning. But no, Francisco Lindor throws an easy inning-ending, just flip to second base over the second baseman's head. And now the Angels have second and third, 2 out here in the top half of the 7th. So that should have ended the inning. Lindor knows it. And now we're in trouble. We're going to go to Jordan Romano to try to get out of this jam. Bullpen's getting tired. It's been used a lot. You know, with the exception of yesterday with Urias, or last game, I should say, with Urias pitching well. But Romano gets out of the jam. Villanueva can't hold up on that slider. And Romano's pretty pumped. He does his job, gets out of it. In the 8th, we still went with Romano. 2 out, nobody on, but Zach Neto's going to tag him for a deep shot to left. Nimmo looks up, and that one's gone in the stairwell. And a home run for Zach Neto. Angels have now a 5-3 lead. Romano can't believe it. Was pitching good, but that is it. We're looking for something here in the bottom half of the 8th, but a nice play by Gavin Lux. Gets to his feet, throws to first in time. We're 3 outs away from taking a 3-2 disadvantage back to Anaheim. This is not good. Top half of the 9th, Gavin Lux with a ground ball. Brett Baty keeps it in front with the diving play, but it's a base hit. Oscar Colas triple shy of the cycle. He might get it here. That ball is headed towards the gap. Luis Roberts going to cut that off before the wall. Gavin Lux with some decent speed. He goes first to home, and the Angels have scored again here as they get an insurance run in the top of the 9th. It's 6-3 as Villanueva, he looks like he was going to bring home another run, but Brett Baty gets up there and saves a run. But it might have been too little too late as we're now down 3 going into the 9th, and we have to verse Evan Phillips, who, like we talked about when he came in and saved, what was it, game number 2, I think. Or was it game number 1? I don't remember, but he was perfect there. Anyway, leadoff base hit from Francisco Lindor, so that's good. We need something to get going here. Brett Baty up next. He hits one up the middle. It's base hits, back-to-back base hits to start the 9th. And just like that, we have the tying run at the plate. Like we always say, we have 1 through 9 can hit home runs on this team. It's Luis Robert, but he goes down swinging. A nasty slider right there from Luis Robert. Alvarez up next. He's already homered this game. Can he do it again to tie this game in the 9th? It's hit hard, but right at the second baseman, Brandon Drury. 4-6-3 double play. The Angels have won it. They have won Game 5. They've taken a 3-2 series lead, and this is getting extremely scary now as we are in a must-win scenario when we go back to LA. We have to win game number 6 to force Game 7. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not feeling confident because we're going back to Kodai Senga, who didn't pitch bad. But as you see there, our offense has not got going so far. The runs have not been coming. Just out game number 5, or game number 4, I should say, where we scored 6. But other than that, it's been 2 runs every game and then 3 last game. So not good. Reed Detmer's back on the mound for the Angels. It's not going to be easy. Senga on the mound for us. He's going to have a short leash. This is an elimination game after all. But we're hoping for at least 4 or 5 solid innings before I can go to that bullpen. Teoscar Hernandez in the top of the second is going to be our first highlight. It's going to be a base hit, which means we have first and second, 1 out. In the top of the second for Francisco Alvarez. He's going to hit one pretty deep in the left field, but right at the left fielder, so nothing doing right there. 2 out, 2 on for Brett Beatty. Can he come up clutch? He's done it so much in the postseason the last couple of years, but not right here. He chops this one to first, and Villanueva runs to the bag to put him away. Top half of the third, still us here in the highlights. It's Ramon Urias ripping one in the gap to left. This one's headed towards the wall. It's a leadoff double in the top of the third. This is not the time to blow these chances right now. We need every run we can. Let's see if we can do it. Brett Beatty up next. 1-2 count on him. He's going to hit one up the middle, but snagged by Reed Detmer. I thought, like, off the bat that was going to be a base hit up the middle. But no, nice snag by Detmers. And Urias has to stay at second. Kyle Tucker's up next. He's been crushing Angels left-handed pitching. He hits one deep. Oscar Colas makes the play in front of the track, though. Tagging and going to third, Ramon Urias. So we got that runner on third. 2 out. Pete Alonso, we need you to come up clutch here. MVP. But he's going to ground the second. And this game remains scoreless heading into the bottom of the third. Leading off that bottom of the third is Logan O'Hoppe. And O'Hoppe's going to smack one to left field. This one's going over Nimmo's head. He's not going to be able to make that play. It's a leadoff double for the Angels. So we blew our leadoff double opportunity. Let's see what the Angels can do with that same opportunity. Nelson Rada, the 9th batter, hasn't done much this postseason. He strikes out swinging at a high fastball. Senga needs to bear down, get out of this. Gavin Lux, he's killed Senga in game number 2, but he strikes him out there. Nice pitch from Senga. 1 out away from getting out of his jams. Oscar Colas, he's been pretty dangerous this postseason. This is the bloop, but Luis Roberts there puts it away, and Senga now gets out of the jam. So that third inning was jammy, but both teams got out of it. We're going to the top of the 5th. Brandon Nimmo up. He goes down swinging. So Reed Detmers is cruising along. He's through 5 shutout innings. Senga looking to do the same, but Angels got a runner on first for Logan O'Hoppe, and O'Hoppe's going to find the gap again way over the left fielder's head this time. Nimmo's going to play it on the wall. First to home again in this series for the Angels. That's like the 3rd or 4th time the Angels have brought a guy in from first with a shot in the gap. Angels have just they've had the magic this year. We need to bear down. Gavin Lux up next. Nimmo dives, can't make the play. Runner's going to score. Gavin Lux trying to go to second. Nimmo actually throws someone out just because it was stupid. Gavin Lux shouldn't have tested that and gone for second, but the run across the plate first. Run scores. It's 2-0 Angels in the 6th. We need something and fast. And Pete Alonso's going to deliver in the top half of the 6th with 1 out. It's going to be a 1-out double. So he'll get into second. So we need runs desperately. Luis Robert up next. 3-2 count on him. He hits one deep to right. If it's fair, it's gone. The game's tied, but it's foul. Oh my goodness. Just foul from Luis Robert. I can't believe it. But next pitch, Luis Robert's going to hit one up the middle. That's going to dunk in front of Mike Trout. Alonso's going to round third. Good read off the bat from Alonso. He'll score. So it's 2-1. Lead's cut in half. But man, I thought we had that game tied with that home run. Just wasn't to be, as you see Urias strikes out in the 7th. We're going to the 8th inning. We're 6 outs away from losing the World Series. Angels 6 outs away from winning it. Logan O'Hoppe's been killing us, but Loizaga gets him to strike out. We're going into the 8th. We need to score and fast. 1 out. Nobody on for Kyle Tucker. What can Kyle Tucker do? He beats the shift, the diving play by Yo Moncada, but he only can keep that in front. So that's a base hit. 1 on, 1 out. Pete Alonso here in the 8th inning. He swings. That's only strike 2, but the ball gets away. Kyle Tucker gets in the scoring position. So we got a runner in scoring position. 1-2 count for Pete Alonso. He strikes out swinging at pitches in the dirt, at his eyeballs. He's just lost out there. I think the nerves are getting to this Mets team. Luis Robert, though, he comes through the clutch 2-out single up the middle. Kyle Tucker rounds third and scores. And it's a huge RBI game-tying single from Luis Robert with 2 outs in the 8th. What a clutch hit from Luis Robert. And this game is tied. We have life. We're going to the top of the 9th. We can do nothing here, but Brett Beatty gets hit by a pitch from Andrew Wantz. So we have a runner on, 2 out in the 9th. Urias hits one deep in the left field, but right there is Nelson Rada, the left fielder. Thought we were going to maybe hit it over his head off the bat. We're going to the bottom of the ninth, getting scary. Mike Trout can walk it off here with one swing. And phew, for a second I was a little nervous, but that one is right to Brandon Nimmo. Out there in left. 2 away, it's Brandon Drury. And Drury is going to hit one in the gap. Luis Robert goes over, but he can't make the play. Drops in front of Luis Robert. Angels got the winning run on first in the ninth for Yoan Moncada. A shot in the gap might end this game. Yoan Moncada grounds to second. Nice play by Ramon Urias. He spins, fires, and gets him. And we're going to extra innings here in the World Series game number 6. Brandon Nimmo leads off 1-2 count. An absolute dot. That was definitely off the zone. Umpire gave that one to Caleb Ferguson. Next up is Kyle Tucker. A 3-1 count is smoked into right field. And this one is out of here. Kyle Tucker comes through again in the World Series against the Angels. Against an Angels left-hander. He just loves hitting them. What a clutch home run from Kyle Tucker. Go-ahead homer in the top of the 10th to give the Mets a 3-2 lead here in game number 6. And just like that, with that clutch home run, we're 3 outs away from forcing game number 7. What a comeback this could be. Luis Robert with a clutch 2-out hit in the 8th inning, and Kyle Tucker with a huge home run in the top of the 10th to give the Mets a 3-2 lead and to try to force game number 7 here. What a shot from Kyle Tucker. So clutch. The World Series MVP last year. He's making his case again for this year if we can come back and win this thing. Going to the bottom half of the 10th, you know what that means. It's time for Edwin Diaz. 7 for 7. Hasn't allowed an earned run. 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. Zach Neto leading off. 1-2 count. He strikes out. Beautiful pitch on the inside corner. We're 2 outs away from forcing game 7. It's Logan O'Hoppe. Already has a couple doubles today. O'Hoppe, did he go on that 2-2 pitch? No, he just missed. Wasn't a strikeout. Next pitch, Edwin Diaz. Oh no, that's deep to left. And out of here. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm losing my voice. Could not believe it. Logan O'Hoppe absolutely smokes that one off of Edwin Diaz. And this game is tied in the bottom of the 10th. I am in disbelief. I thought it was automatically going to game number 7 with Edwin Diaz on the mound. Edwin Diaz can't believe it. That's for sure. That pitch was smoke. Logan O'Hoppe has 2 doubles today. Now a clutch game-tying home run in the bottom of the 10th. They're going crazy in Anaheim. My goodness. What a shot that was. Unbelievable. Anyway, we got to bear down, get out of this 10th inning. It's Nelson Rada, the worst hitter on the Angels team, and he's getting on base. I think Edwin Diaz is a little rattled. The Angels have the winning run on first. Now we got to bear down. It's Gavin Lux. He's been killing us this series. 1-2 count. This one's in the center field. Luis Robert is there. 1 out away. Let's just focus on sending this to the 11th now. All we can do at this point. It's Oscar Colas. 0 for 4 today, but having himself a pretty good series. And that ball shot in the gap. Runner on first has decent speed. Luis Robert needs to get there fast. The relay throw home. The throw from Lindor is not nearly in time, and the Angels have walked it off. And the Angels have won the World Series. Oh my goodness. Edwin Diaz blows the save, and the Angels have got their revenge. They are your World Series champions. Wow. Well, what a heartbreaking way to lose a World Series. Wow. I could not believe it when it happened. I really thought it was automatically going into Game 7. I was thinking about how Game 7 was going to be its own separate video and how I was going to turn quick counts off. And just like that, it doesn't matter. We lose to the Angels. They get their revenge. And honestly, guys, I do want to do another season, but MLB The Show 24 is literally less than a week away at this point. I think it comes out with early access, which I think I'm going to get it. It comes out on Friday, so I just don't I just don't see how we could fit another season in. But it's okay. In less than a week's time, we're going to have a new series on the new game. And there's where I need your help. I need you to leave a comment below on what team you might want me to do to start the new game off. There's plenty of good options. I could go for a team that's good and just do a couple seasons with them, like the Dodgers. They're exciting. They got a ton of new players. Maybe we do a couple seasons with them, and then we'll move on to something else. Try to win a World Series with the Dodgers. Maybe we do some like a rebuild team that's not good, like, you know, basically any team in the AL and NL Central, or like the A's or whatever. Move them to Las Vegas. I don't know. It's really whatever you guys want to see. I want to thank all of you for the support, not only on this series, but in the channel as a whole. So please leave a comment below. Whatever gets the most traction, I think, is what I'll start with. If it's a tie, I'll put it between a poll. So really, it's up to you guys. Thank you so much for the support. I can't believe the loss on this video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you on the show 24.